Good morning. Let me adjust the things. We can get started. My little foam yoga block is finally starting to get some indents in it. Not as level as it once was. All right, awesome. Well, let's get started today. Let's just get into a child's pose. Let's get nice and cozy into a child's pose. Choose whichever one you like. You can keep your knees together. You can separate them. Reach your arms forward, sink your hips back. Just rest your forehead on your mat. As you settle into your child's pose, just begin to take a few mindful breaths. And taking a deep inhale through your nose. And exhaling from your mouth. As you exhale, I want you to fully deflate your body. Getting rid of any pent-up energy that is not serving you today. Once you feel that you've gained a bit of control over your breath, keeping that control, let's start to bring the mind to attention. And clearing out some of the background noise. Maybe you set an intention or an affirmation for this practice. Something that'll keep you focused and in line. And gently rock your forehead from side to side, creating a little bit of movement. Releasing some of that tension you may be holding in your face. Also waking up your third eye. And in doing so, you are awakening your ability to absorb universal knowledge, absorb new opportunities. Slowly bring your hands in towards your knees. And then push your upper body all the way up. Come to seated in your hero's pose. Now you can sit right back on your heels, or you can bring your knees together, sit in between your feet. Bring your right arm up towards the sky. And then go ahead and bend your arms so that your palm is now at your mid-back. If you need a deeper sensation, you can take your left hand to your right elbow and just gently guide it back a bit further. Be mindful of tilting back. We're not creating a back bend here. We're creating length in the side body. So if you're starting to naturally pop your booty, go ahead and try to create a nice flat spine. We'll get there, just not yet. Go ahead and lower your left hand. Bring your right arm back up towards the sky, and then lower it down. Other side, left arm goes up. Bend your arms so your palm is on your back now. And if this feels like enough here, don't go any further. If you want to explore a little bit, maybe see if you want more, go ahead and take your right hand to your elbow and just gently guide it back. Go ahead and release your right hand down. Left arm goes up towards the sky and then lower it down. Bring both hands out in front of you, create some nice fists, and then just start drawing circles with your fists. If it's uncomfortable having your arms straight while you do this, you can bring them in. And then switch direction. One way might be a little bit easier than the other. One hand might be having an easier time than the other. Just whatever muscles we use more frequently. So if one hand is struggling, give that one a little bit of love. Maybe go a little bit slower in that one. And then just start to pedal them out. Create nice flat hands. Then have your palms face one another and you're going to move them from side to side. Just getting some blood flow running through your arms this morning. And then go ahead and flick your hands out like you're flicking water. Just look at the pads of your hands, a little massage. Give that little extra blood flow to your fingertips. If you are typically a cold body like I am, this is always really helpful. Wake up my nerves a little bit, create a little bit of warmth. And then just begin to rub your hands together. Again, generating that heat. Come to stillness and Anjali Mudra. And then begin to shift your weight forward. Come onto all fours into your tabletop position. So your hands are in line with your shoulders, knees are in line with your hips. Nice flat spine to start. If you feel like your feet aren't doing anything, go ahead and tuck your toes to keep everything nice and engaged. Hello, Edgar. Hi. Whenever you're ready, begin your cat-cow. So on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, you're going to curl your spine, bring your gaze between your legs. And just do this to your own breath. Take your time. And taking your time, you're building that connection to your breath and your body. But also keep in mind that you are playing with a back bend here. So rushing through that compression and release is not going to benefit you as much as it will if you take your time and allow your body to fully release. And come to stillness. Wag your tail a little bit. Doing this, you're creating that compression and release by opening into your rib cage. Getting into those little nooks and crannies, hard to reach areas. Go ahead and come to stillness. If your toes aren't tucked yet, go ahead and tuck them. Lift your tailbone all the way up. Come into downward facing dog. Just begin to pedal out your feet. It's okay if your heels don't touch all the way down. They don't have to. Jump or step towards the top of your mat. Come into a halfway lift. And forward fold. As you come into your forward fold, you can start to wiggle out your hips again, waking up the back body. Inhale, rise all the way up, come into your mountain pose. We're going to start to build a little bit of heat. Standing in your mountain pose, take a deep inhale. Exhale, take a seat chair pose. Do whatever you want with your arms and never care what your arms are doing as long as you are comfortable. Inhale up, mountain. Exhale, take a seat chair. Inhale up, mountain. Exhale, take a seat chair. Bring your hands to heart center. Rotate your upper body towards the right. Come into a ball chair. Come back to center. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, chair. Hands at heart center. Rotate towards the left, or ball chair. Back to center. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And step back into a high plank. Lower both knees, untuck your toes, shift your weight forward into cobra. Tuck your toes, shift your weight back, downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath. Jump or step to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, mountain. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Step back into your high plank. Lower both knees and tuck your toes, cobra. Tuck your toes, shift it all the way back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, step it all the way through. Keep your left heel lifted. Come into your runner's lunge. And keep your hands on your mat. Your torso can be resting on your right thigh. Just Gonna hold here for just a few moments. Keep your left hand planted, right arm goes up towards the sky for a twist. Bring your right hand back down, left knee goes down. Go ahead and come up into your low lunge. Arms go up towards the sky. Bring both hands down towards the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot towards the edge of your mat. You're gonna extend your left leg all the way back. Come into your lizard pose. As you come in here, if just being in lizard is the right amount of sensation, you can stay here. Or if you'd like, you can slowly begin to roll onto the blade edge of your right foot for your high flying dragon. Bring your knee back to center. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. And see if you can step back into a high plank. Lower both knees, untuck your toes, cobra. And tuck your toes, shift your weight back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg, step it all the way through, keep your right heel lifted. Come into your runner's lunge. Edgar, what are you doing? You're being really creepy. Being very suspicious this morning. What's up, buddy? Plant your right hand down, left arm goes up. Prairie twist. He looks like he's never been in this room before. I swear. Bring your left hand down, lower your right knee, and rise for your low lunge, arms up towards the sky. Bring your hands down towards the inside of your left foot. Extend your right leg all the way back. Heel toe your left foot towards the edge of your mat. Come into your lizard. Again, if you'd like to deepen here, whenever you're ready, you can roll onto the blade edge of your left foot for your high flying dragon. Bring your knee back to center. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. See if you can step back into a high plank. Lower both knees, untuck your toes, cobra. Tuck your toes, shift your weight back. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg and bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Bring your shin parallel to your mat, lower all the way down, come into pigeon. It's okay if you can't get your shin perfectly flat. It's okay if it's at an angle. you'd like here, you can stay lifted, create a little back bend, or you can lower all the way down. Rest your forehead on top of your hands. If you lowered all the way down, go ahead and press up. Shift your weight onto your right hip, swing your left leg around. See if you can stack your shins on top of one another. Get your booty out of the way. Now to be on your sit bones. Inhale your arms up towards the sky to lengthen your spine. Exhale, see if you can fold over your lap. Now if this causes too much sensation in your hips, that's okay. You can stay lifted here. Or you can slowly creep your hands forward and bow down. I invite you to allow your belly to be soft here. I know in a lot of these postures, we're taught to engage the core, engage the core, engage the core, but we're missing out on so many benefits in engaging the core in a different way of being mindful of our organs, right? Aiding in digestion, helping cleanse the body a bit more instead of just being hyper-focused on getting abs. There are more benefits to life than having abs. So I tell myself every day. If you lower down, go ahead and press yourself up. We're going to do a couple of twists here. So take your right hand to your left knee. Your left arm is going to come behind for a seated twist. And come back to center. Now you're going to shift your weight onto your left hip. And you're going to swing your right leg behind, keeping your left leg where it was. You can adjust yourself however you need to, create pigeon on the other side. Now, one hip might be significantly tighter than the other. And if that's the case here, just adjust yourself to where it's not painful. You know your tolerance, the difference between pain and sensation. So wherever you're at, you can stay lifted, create that little back bend if you'd like. Or you can slowly work your way down. And if you lowered all the way down, go ahead and press yourself back up. Shift your weight onto your left hip. Swing your right leg all the way around. See if you can stack one shin on top of the other. And I have never seen a perfect stacked logs. I know ours in the backyard surely aren't. So if your shins aren't perfectly stacked, it's okay. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Fully exhale, see if you can bow forward. Maybe lower it all the way down, slowly begin to press yourself up. And then bring your left hand to your right knee, right arm comes behind for your seated twist. Come back to center. Go ahead and detangle your legs however you need to. Plant your feet. Keep a nice bend in your knees and lower all the way down to your back. And as you come down here, you're going to heel toe your feet towards the edges of your mats. Keep your knees together. And I invite you to completely flatten your spine. Get rid of any natural curves for just a moment. If you have any kind of pinching sensations in your lumbar, creating a nice flat spine on this type of surface helps relieve it for just a moment, giving it that little bit of stretch so that those muscles or whatever is tangled up down there can kind of adjust itself a little bit. Go ahead and return to your natural spine. If you'd like, you can have your arms down toward your sides. Or if you would like to deepen that connection with your body yet again, you can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And in this moment, I want you to bring your awareness back to your breath if you've lost it. And if any background noise came forward, bring back that affirmation or intention that you set at the beginning of practice. And these are things that you can incorporate in your life off of the mat. If things get a little tense, taking 3 mindful breaths can help ground down your nervous system, calm down that fight or flight. When the background noise comes up so fiercely, which it just loves to do, bring that intention back into focus. I know it sounds so much easier than it is, but it does help. Practicing really helps. Go ahead and heel toe your feet back together. Hug your knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side. Give your spine a little massage. And go ahead and release. Extend your legs the length of your mat. Bring your arms down to your sides, palms face the sky. If you feel comfortable, you can gently close your eyes and settle in for Shavasana. Begin to bring awareness back into your body. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. And rock your head from side to side. Bring your arms up above your head for a full body stretch. And then bring everything into center. Give yourself a nice big hug for showing up for yourself, making your physical and mental practice a priority. Slowly lower down to one side, come into your sleepy baby. And with whichever hand landed on top, press up into a seated position, however you need to get there. Allow your palms to come down onto your lap, your left palm facing down, your right one facing towards the sky. As a way of being grounded both here on your mat and off of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center and bow your head. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I have been contemplating how I want to go about these little coffee dates on Friday. I would like to be able to meet you all and just have it be open discussion and fun and not so structured. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing separate recordings of the topics that I'd like to talk about, just so it doesn't kind of dampen the mood of wanting to hang out and communicate. So I'd be like, all right, guys, be quiet. I need to talk now. I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be a workshop setting. I want it to be a social setting. So, what I'm going to do is I'll start posting on Fridays a separate recording of a discussion and having the virtual coffee dates be a little bit more informal. I think they're a lot more fun that way. So, the discussion that I will be talking about tomorrow is going to be about ways to work with disappointment. Um, which is something that is hitting home for me. So if my hormones get out of control tomorrow, I apologize. So I want to be able to share with you all ways to cope with disappointment, ways to confront disappointment, overcome it, all that good stuff, and just to help, better prepare everyone for these really complicated, emotions that come up. And oftentimes we're just like, I'm disappointed. This is what this is, instead of being able to actually have a grounded solution. So that will be our little discussion tomorrow. I'll just do it as a separate recording. I will post that at 9 o'clock, or I'll post that before the actual coffee date if you guys want to talk about it in the coffee dates. It's entirely up to you how you want to go about it. I just wanted to give you all a heads up that the lectures are going to be separate. That's about it. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.